These last few days have felt really, really overwhelming. It's just been feeling like this crazy level of chaos of just being spread so thin. And I just keep feeling like, my God, how much more pressure can I take? How much more of this can I take? And I was actually this morning kind of like ready to snap. So, right now, we actually have 9 puppies in our house, on top of the 4 adult dogs we have, on top of 2 adult cats and a kitten. And it just, plus all the farm animals and stuff, and it's just been chaotic. It's been crazy. In the last couple days, like starting yesterday and then today, and then the next several days, it's supposed to be raining. So there's no escaping the noise. There's no escaping the pressure, the just the chaos and stuff. Right now, my routine has changed up so much. The puppies are almost 6 weeks old, so they have to keep getting out of the cage to then, run around the house, and their mom keeps getting them out in the middle of the night, keeps getting them. We had to connect 2 cages together because they're a big dog with 9 puppies, so it's a huge litter and stuff. And there's ways that the mom can move the barricades. And long story short, there's not been a lot of peace in our house. There's not been a lot of sleep in our house. There's been a lot of me sweeping and mopping and scrubbing floors and cleaning up messes, and just, it feels like from every angle I'm just getting bombarded with just all these new tasks and all these duties and all of these things of, oh, now I gotta do this, and then I gotta do this, and I gotta do this, and I gotta do this. And I'm just feeling like, oh my God, I can't take this anymore. Just every angle. And I feel like there's so many other people right now that are dealing with this same thing, but it's just different things. It's different distractions. It's different triggers that are coming at them, whether it's bills or it's, notifications on their phones, or people calling them, or debt collectors, or just whatever it is. I think that a lot of us are dealing with this heaviness of this. Got an eyelash about to go in my eye. That could have been bad. I think that a lot of us are dealing with this level of just intensity where it just feels like you're ready to break. And I was kind of just like thinking about that earlier while I was washing my hands after cleaning up like 9,000, level number 9,000 of just puppy palooza mess and stuff. And I was just like so frustrated and just really honestly just ready to lose it, just ready to snap, just ready to start yelling and just not being my normal self, because there's only so far that you can be stretched. There's only so thin that you can be stretched, so much pressure you can take. So I was sitting there at the sink and I'm just washing my hands as the washer's going, and it's just driving me crazy. And I'm thinking about all the other things that I have to do. And what I really just wanted to do was just relax today. And I was thinking, God, like, why do I keep feeling this way? Like, what is happening? And then immediately I pictured me when I was making homemade noodles a couple weeks ago. And it's basically the same process of making a pie crust, where you're using the rolling pin and you're just pushing it out and you're pushing it out and you're pushing it out. And I was thinking about how when you first start with that rolling pin, it's this big massive dough, and it's kind of pliable. It's kind of hard. It's kind of tough to stretch. You can stretch it a little bit, but there just really isn't that much flexibility. So you put a little pressure onto it, and then it becomes a little bit thinner, a little bit more pliable, a little bit more moldable. And then you go a little bit more and a little bit more. And with each thing, you can consider it, with each little bit more, it's another responsibility, another level of chaos, another level of difficulty, more pressure that keeps happening. And the other day, my wife, Tracy, she was telling me that, she's like, God says that they say that God will not give you more than you can handle. And like right now, I'm ready to lose it and stuff. And it was just puppy chaos and stuff. And I said, well, it's true. We don't get more than we can handle. We're being grown. We're being stretched. We're being pushed and pulled, and just so we can be molded. So we're getting our carrying capacity increased right now. And going back to the pie crust or the noodles or whatever we're rolling out and stuff, I just kept thinking about that, about how much pressure and how much work and how much repetition of just this pressure and this pushing and this pressure and this pushing, just to get it so then you have something that's no longer this tight, non-malleable ball, into something that is flexible, that is moldable, that you can shape, that you can pull, that you can stretch even further, that you can break off pieces of and do different things with it. A noodle isn't very good if it's this big hunking, hit the table, sorry. It's not very good if you have this big hunking solid thing. It's going to be just this uncooked, yucky dumpling dough ball grossness. But when you roll it out thinner and you go thinner and you go thinner and you go thinner, and then you can start taking off little pieces of it and leave those pieces behind and leave those pieces here, leave them here, or put them in a pot of boiling water or dry them for another time. You realize that you need to be able to be malleable. And I think this analogy is going a little bit too far, but I think that you guys are picking up what I'm putting down. I just keep feeling like right now there's so many of us that collectively are in this pressure right now, in this pressure of just being pushed down so hard and feeling like we're going to break. And I imagine that that's kind of how the dough feels when it's getting stretched, when it's getting pulled and stuff. As a bread baker, one thing that you do whenever you're like kneading the dough a little bit is you're stretching that dough to its max capacity, and then you're letting it go back. And then you're gently stretching it again to where it's almost ready to break. And then you let it go back. And as you're doing this, it changes the consistency of the dough. It changes everything. But you can feel the resistance happening whenever it's getting to that breaking point. And that's when you know it's time to relax again. And I think that that's basically what is happening in life right now for a lot of us, is that we're in that pulling, that stretching. And just know that when it feels like you're so close to breaking, that's when it's finally going to go. And you can feel relief, you can relax a little bit and stuff. But yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys. That's been something that's been on my mind just in the last couple of minutes. I was just, like I said, I was washing my hands and just had this mental image pop up in my head. And I don't know if that'll help anybody. It helped me. It helped me understand that this is all just so that way I can, make more noodles, or, cover a bigger pie, or just stretch further to have a bigger spread, to be more malleable and stuff. I think that we're very much supposed to be moldable and let ourselves grow and expand and just stretch in life. So anyways, thanks for watching. Have a good one, guys.